Hi friends, my name is Brijesh Singh and welcome back to my channel. So in this sections, the AIML sections, we are going to cover a lot of things. So this is just an introduction video where I am going to tell you what we are going to cover and how we are going to cover that, right? So let me give you a small sort of motivational thought which will give you an immense understanding why this is required and how we are going to achieve that. From the childhood, we are forced to choose who we are. We always focus on the fixed goal. The more we remain folded in our fields and better the expertise we are. But every small steps matter the most with the full dedications and the enthusiasm. A self-belief is the most powerful tools to nourish yourself. So I always believe in this flowcharts. This is my philosophy, you can say. There is a two possibility of any situation. Either you can do or not, right? So first you have to always think about yourselves and always ask these questions to you. Do you have any problem? If yes, can you do something about it? If yes, then don't worry. If you cannot do something about this, you don't have to worry about that because there is no solution for that, and you have to find the solution first so that you cannot be worried about that, right? So you always have to think in this loop. So studying machine learning and AI, people thinks this would be a very challenging. So for that, I feel you are limiting yourselves because you think you cannot start without prior knowledge. Let me guess what you are thinking. Are you thinking about the statistic? Are you thinking about the maths? Okay, so everyone thinks the same thing, right? But is this a barrier to you? Really? I don't think so, because everything comes to you in a step by step manner. You have to only focus on the current situations, what you are going to do today, so that small steps can reach you in the end goal. You always have to follow the process. Result is just a byproduct of the process. I think this quote will always give you a very strong message because this is not my quote. This is the one of the greatest player in the India, a Dhoni, has always in any talks, if you see, he has always preferred this line: the process is main, the result is the byproduct of those process. So you have to always think about the process, be there in the process, enjoy the process. So once you started enjoying the process, you will always get the right result. You don't have to care about the results part. But yes, there are things, there are complexity will come, you have to deal with that. I will not lying with you. It will take time. But if you keep on working and working and working, it's a human behavior. If you start working on something on daily basis, just take an example of walking. You take first day maybe 500 meters. Next day you took a 700 meters, and then slowly you started increasing. And sooner within a 1 month, I think you will reach to that point where you will start enjoying that process, right? So go in there with the right mindset. You will definitely enjoy the process. I think we are going to do a lot of things. So let me put the introductions here, what we are going to do and how we are going to do. So we are going to cover everything. We are going to cover the statistic. We are going to cover EDA process, how the exploratory data analysis we can do. We are going to cover the machine learning algorithms, all the machine learning algorithms majorly. I think 15, 16 algorithms we are going to cover. Deep learning, we are going to understand what is deep learning and what are the algorithms, what are the way of neural network works and everything. And also, if you want, I can teach the reinforcement learning as well. So yes, it will come to you because this whole section is created for the same sort of videos. So stay tuned with us and let's jump to the introductions. So these are the prerequisites. I think I'm not going to cover this. These are the Python and the basic algebra. So I'm assuming you know Python before starting this video. And basic algebra is like 12th standard maths, linear algebra. So you have to come up with that. So but at least I can give you what you have to cover if you're going to learn the Python and linear algebra. So I'm assuming these are the prerequisites. So basically in the Python, what you have to understand are basic Python data types and our data structures. So in the data structure, you have to understand list, tuples, dictionary, sets. So these are the four major data structures which you have to understand. and a conditional statement and the loops, like for any language you have a for loop, you have a while loop and others. So similarly in the pythons also you have to see the loop, how the loop works, and the state conditional statement, if else conditions, how you can make it. Comprehensions, so list comprehensions, and these are the things which you have to cover. Functions, standard library functions or inbuilt python functions you have to check so that you can use directly, like a slice, how to split any string, how to create a substring. So these are the things which you have to understand, because many of the times you have to work with the array, right? So, and these two which I'm going to cover while teaching the machine learning and EDA, or there are a lot of stuff, right? So NumPy and the pandas, which is two major libraries used in the data science of any activities in terms of machine learning and AI. So these two libraries I'm going to cover, while, but at least you should have some understanding of pythons and pandas and the NumPy. And the other side, data visualizations. So data visualizations, these are the two major libraries, Matplotlib and the Seaborn. These are the libraries which I'm going to cover while teaching you in the EDA sections, right? And the linear algebra, you have to understand the vector and the vector space, matrix. So all sort of calculations around the matrix, like additions, subtraction, multiplications of the matrix. Linear transformations, you have to understand eigenvector, eigenvalue. These are the things, properties, what are the eigenvalues, properties, and it holds, right? So these are the major linear algebra which and the differentiation and the integrations. I think if you can just brush up yourself, so it would be easy, because I'm going to teach a lot of derivations and a lot of calculations when we are teaching any machine learning model, right? So Python is the writing a code is one of the aspects, but understanding how the internally this black box works, right? Because model, when you're creating a model, so model is become your black box, right? So you don't know what's happening inside. You can simply write a code because it's a one liner or two liner codes, but how this internally, how maths works internally, that's a very important aspects which you have to understand in case of you are going to deep into it. And I'm going to cover the statistic. So in the statistic, I'm going to cover the basic probability, and then discrete probability, what are the distributions, all type of distributions where I'm going to cover binomial distribution, cumulative probabilities, continuous probability distributions, and central limit theorem, sample distributions, binomial curves, everything, all the sort of distribution which has the probability has it, we are going to cover in the statistic. Then we will go on the hypothesis testing, because this is a very essential part of any statistical understanding. So what we are going to cover in the statistic hypothesis testing, we are going to cover introductions. We'll give some sort of introductions, null hypothesis, alternative hypothesis, critical value method, p-value, type 1, type 2 error, t-distribution, A/B testing. And then we are going to cover the in the EDA sections, data sourcing, how you can source the data, how you can clean the data, what are the univariate analysis, bivariate analysis, and the derive matrix. You can learn a lot of things in the EDA, because this is very essential part for any sort of data analysis part. So before jumping to the any creating any model, you have to understand what's your data. So these are the right frameworks the EDA has given you, which through which you can actually achieve a lot of things, right? So this is very important. And then in the machine learning, there are a lot of algorithms we are going to cover, starting with the linear regressions, logistic, naive-Bayes, SVM, support vector machine. In the tree model, we are going to cover the decision tree, random forest. So in advanced regression, we are going to see the generalized linear regression, regularized linear regressions. Then boosting is also very important. So we'll see the ADA boosting and the gradient boosting. And then we will see the clustering algorithms, where we will find the key main algorithms and then hierarchical clusterings. And also we will see the model evaluation technique, so which is very important, how you can make a trade-off between bias and the variance. And then deep learning, there are a lot of things in the deep learning, starting with the ANN, CNN, RNN. So a lot of things we are going to cover in this. So these are the overall use cases which we are going to cover in this section. And then as the time demands, maybe a lot of things, other things we can cover, like maybe I also involve RL part, which is reinforcement learning and all. So you will see a lot of things coming in this chapter. So so these are the so this is the small introductions what we are going to cover. So as you can see, this is very vast, and slowly, and you have to steadily go through each and every sections and understand. So there is a lot of theoretical part, then mathematical part, and then coding part. So these are the three major aspects which we are going to cover in this. So so how it was? This is just a gist of the this section. There are a lot more things will come, but trust me, if you just understand these part, 40% of your job is done. Nobody will stop you to get into the job, whatever you want to do after that. I think you will become at least a guy who can actually speaks about the machine learning and all, right? So that's all from the introductions. So if you like this video, please share and subscribe this channel and stay tuned with us. There are a lot more things to come. Thank you.